Hello everyone, welcome everyone, I am AtomiK, and I'm here for the Max League of Nations 2, and I am with Paradox. How are you, Paradox?
I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. It is very late in the evening, but we do have some pretty high intensity Hearthstone action here in the Max League of Nations between Norway and Chile. And of course, Paradox, he is a very unbiased gentleman. He totally doesn't know two of the people on the Norwegian team very well and totally doesn't want them to win. Not at all. I'm kidding, of course.
Yes, today we are at the first round of the second stage of the Max League of Nations. Half of the countries has been eliminated during the first stage, so now it's the second stage of group stage. The points are back to 0-0 for each teams in the Max League of Nations. You can see here the group B. So very strong countries because they had to be in the first two place of their first group. So we will see who will manage to qualify. There are six teams in one group, and only two countries of each group will qualify for the playoff. So they can't lose that many games. So both teams want to win today. So we can start with the lineups.
Yep. So, which team are we starting with?
Here,
Chile or Norway?
Chile, because here we have Dark Claw's lineup with a druid, a shaman, and a warlock. His shaman has been banned, was a quest shaman, but his other decks are a beast druid and a quest warlock. Some thoughts of this deck, Paradox?
So, Quest Shaman has been a pretty good performer in the Open Cup meta that we saw last weekend. It's generally quite effective against board-centric decks, which, as it turns out, that is what is in the opposing lineup. The
Yeah.
opposing lineup does have Face Hunter and Living
So
Paladin,
that's
so
why
both of those are pretty
hmm,
good
he
for
decided
a
to,
Quest
to ban
Shaman.
shaman for that reason, I think.
Yeah. Because, as always, this is last hero standing. You want to try to avoid getting swept out if you can help it.
Yes. So the other deck, a beast druid. Druid is one of the best performing class right now, I think. And there are two ways of playing druid. The big druid, the ramp druid, and the other one more aggro or combo one with lots of early games. The beast druid. It has some powerful combo. You have, for example, the Oracle of Elune with Owl or Frost Saber Matriarch. You also have the Wing Commander Melverick, pretty strong Rhino, and pretty strong against board deck, like Face Hunter, for example, against a Gnoll. You can just clear it with your Melverick, so can be
So,
strong.
yeah. So, funny story about Wing Commander Mulverick. I was watching Orange's stream earlier today, and he was playing Wing Commander Mulverick in Ramp Druid. And so, what he did against a Trog on turn two is go Moonlit Guidance into Lightning Bloom, which then gave him 4 mana to then play Wing Commander Mulverick and rush all of the 2/2s into the opponent's full board of Trogs. It was absolutely disgusting.
I also watch Clark Hellscream doing it on stream. So yeah, powerful combo, but it's not the ramp one, so we won't see it today because this Drew doesn't have Lightning Bloom or that much spells, but it's still a really really good card against Hunter for sure.
Yeah, just
And
any
yeah,
deck with a lot of like 2 health minions early in the game,
sure.
for sure.
And the last one is Warlock, pretty strong against aggro. It also have a win condition, so not that much weakness for that Warlock. Mm, how do you feel it's favored against Hunter or disfavored? What's your thoughts on the
It's
matchup
it's
against
a
Hunter?
very close matchup. I think it really depends on the opening few turns, right? Like if the Warlock has all of the early game answers like the Shadowbait Slinger, Drain Soul, etc., they'll be fine. Like if the Hunter can just get ahead in the first 3 turns, it's usually very hard for the Warlock player to
Mm,
come back.
for sure.
And I guess it depends. Like if you're going first, keeping the quest is probably fine, but if you're going second, you'd throw it away as the Warlock, and that can make a pretty big difference if the team from Chile don't know that difference properly. Because it's not that
Okay.
obvious.
Yeah. I thought it was always a keep because it was also nice for the lifesteal effect to reduce the giants that are good to play on board. So okay, very interesting to see that. I'm writing it down on paper for my own games. Thank you, Paradox.
Yeah, I'm just repeating what Orange said, but when you think about it, right? In order for the quest to get that lifesteal off, you have to deal 8 damage to yourself on your own turn. And dealing 8 damage to yourself on your own turn against Face Hunter is very dangerous.
Yeah,
Because, they can just go face and kill you. It's
yeah,
kind of the struggle between Warlock and Hunter in general.
that makes sense. Makes sense. So fine, so we can now move to Van Spruten's lineup from Norway, which is who is playing to Hunter, Paladin, and Warlock. So his Hunter has a Cult Neophyte, so that can be really huge compared to the matchup we were talking about against Warlock. Against a Soul Run, for example, he can just get wrecked for the Warlock. So his Warlock has been banned, so we won't see a Warlock Mirror. And his other deck is Paladin.
Libram Paladin,
Yep.
yeah. And it sort of wraps around to the point I was mentioning earlier about the Quest Shaman, right? Like, imagine if the Quest Shaman was left up and the Warlock was banned. That would be so huge for Chile. So I'm glad both teams like recognized that possibility and just got rid of it right out the gate. These deck lists are actually a little bit interesting in terms of some notable absences that I am not a big fan of, and some notable inclusions. So, like, for example, there's 2 copies of True Aim Crescent in Face Hunter, which is usually a card you only see 1 copy of at this point.
Yeah, I don't also really like a Trump question because it's bad to have two in your hand. It's also a bad top deck when you are like turn 5-6 with a totally empty hand. So yeah, that's not what I really like because yeah, you can sometimes blank as a hunter. It's not that often, but with two passing shot, one rifle, two tram, sometimes your hand is just dead. So that's not what I like playing hunter. But maybe there are some reason for those questions.
Yeah, maybe they were expecting to go into a more like board
Mm-hmm.
centric lineup from the opponent, which I mean, Dream Crescent is probably better against Beastru, but not really against Question or Handlock.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I was playing both Trime sometimes on ladder when there were lots of Sea Frog, because it was really good to keep the board at your advantage. But yeah, okay, fine. Uh,
Yep.
Nothing to add on the lineups.
Uh, I mean, there's
Okay,
a few
go
other things that
go
I'm a
on, go
little
on, go
bit
on.
questionable about. So, like in the Warlock, for example, I think the Handlock 30 is pretty much solved at this point. So I'm a little bit confused as to why there's an Altar of Fire here. I'm not really sure how Altar of Fire could be better than Shadowblade Slinger in any sense of the word. It just seems like it's a like you're just playing it and just praying that you just randomly mill over a combo piece in some random matchup. Like it's horrendous in the mirror, like unplayably bad. And against against Aggro Druid, sometimes it'll get you to playing your scavengers early, but like 9 times out of 10, it's just 1 mana do nothing, which isn't that great.
Yeah, it depends on the matchup for sure. I saw an Open Cup. I think it was Drivo that got burned his combo pieces as a owl TK Warlock. So sometimes it can just steal some games. But yeah,
Perhaps, but that's not the kind of matchups we'll be seeing today, unfortunately, from the Warlock.
no.
And the only other point of note before we get started is the Libram Paladin running Mutinous and Viper instead of 2 Trogs. Like, that seems to be the main difference I see from the standard Libram Paladin list.
Mm, maybe. he was expected some OTK or OTK Shaman. That's where those cards are kinda strong. And maybe they were feeling that, yeah, his lineups was kinda hard against OTK or OTK Shaman. So having those tech cards would be able to not get 3-0 with a lineup with both Shaman and OTK Warlock. So from my point of view, it makes sense to take your deck against those decks.
Perhaps, but then it's like we wrap around to why is there two Turin Crescent and Hunter if that's their logic, right? You're running one card to be better against board-based decks and running another to be better against the OTK decks. Like it feels like it's a bit mixed.
If you're doing that,
they've got mixed ideas on what they should be running into.
you are strong against everything if you're taking about
If you draw
everything.
well enough, yeah, I guess. I mean, I like Trogs a lot in Libram Pattern because that deck really wants to have a play on turn one. And not running Trogs means you only have like 2 1-drops that you actually want to play on turn one. And in some matchups, like against Hunter or against Shaman, for example, that can be such a huge like difference maker.
Yeah, because
Especially if a Trog gets a buff on it.
you need targets to play your Hand of Adal or Noble Mount. Also, when you're playing Stone Earth, it's very good to buff a minion that is already on board. So yeah, having a turn 1 for Paladin is really important. Totally agree.
But yeah, aside from that, I don't really have anything else to go over besides the deck list already. So now we have to figure out if the players are ready.
I think they are ready. I just received a message from Darklo asking me when are we starting. So
well, let's go.
So, yeah. So Darkclaw will be at the top of your screen and Van Spruten at the bottom of your screen. Don't forget to send cheers to your favorite country with the top and bottom command on chat for sure.
Who do you want to win the series, AtomiK?
I kinda know Van Spruten because I faced him on Max Open Cup and he was very kind, so maybe for him I want Norway to win. I don't know any players. I have heard of them, but I don't really know them. So just for that reason, maybe Norway is kinda ahead in my heart.
Yeah, I actually met Makarane Chile in person back in Korea in 2019. I actually beat him. And it will surprise literally no one watching the stream that I was playing Control Warrior. You know, Paraducks and Control decks, you know, like, what else is new? But it was better than playing Mage. I'm feeling depressed. But yeah, he seemed like a nice enough guy. I don't know anything about the other two members of the team, unfortunately, but hopefully they'll show us some nice personality when the game kicks off.
Sure. Okay, Zarya still preparing to battle. I have both players' webcam today, so that's nice. We will see how it's going for players.
Oh, I think they're just getting into the game.
Perfect.
So yeah, it will be game number 1 between Darkclaw and Van Spruten, Libram Paladin versus Aggro Druid. And already we see a really good card in the opening hand here for Van Spruten. Lightforged Carrier is going to really carry the Paladin if they get to 10-6.
Do you keep it on that matchup?
Of course you do. So, over the last 3 days or so, I've played, like, at least 40 games of Libram Paladin, and I've just come to the conclusion you just keep Carriel in every matchup. Going first, going second, doesn't matter. 100% keep. The card is just so good. Like, not only when she enters the battlefield, she deals 2 damage to all enemies, not only do you get a literal infinite value weapon, that weapon also makes it so you take half damage for the rest of the game, and you also get +4/+4 to 1 minion per turn. If that's not a busted card, I don't know what is.
Yeah, but you were talking about the fact of having a turn 1 in hand. Here, Van Spluten have it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay, so if you are seeing it, I will trust you about keeping Carriel.
I mean, it's sort of like balancing the risk, right? It's like, sure, you keep 1 less card and you reduce the odds slightly, but the payoff of just having the card on curve is just so important, especially in this matchup. That's going to be so focused around board control. Being able to deny the Druid their board state that they've just built up throughout the game is just so important.
Okay, here you're just playing Alador, I think.
Yep. Doesn't
Best
die
buddy.
to the Druid of the Reef on board. And if a Libram is drawn anytime soon, it'll be significantly cheaper. Very solid 1-drop. Hand's not looking that great for Chile here. Like, they have the 2-drop, but no real follow-up after that, unfortunately.
Gotta be scrappy with scraps.
The Druid already have the Oracle, yeah. We'll look for the Reduced Beast. We'll try to curve in the first turns. I think that matchup depends a lot on about the opportunity for the Paladin to answer to the big board from the Druid. There will be a turn where the Druid will do something big, and here is a kind of answer. So most of the time,
Best answer the class has.
when the Druid is going huge, if the Paladin has Balroth plus Broomstick or a big Samuro, the game is for Paladin, and if not, it's for the Druid.
Oh, that is
Very
by
nice,
far
yeah.
the best holy spell they could have asked for there.
I agree.
Yeah, there's no reason not to take the trade here. Because I'm pretty sure if you're a Norway here, you don't really care if Chile wants to double trade into this 2-3. And now if they trade the taunt into the 1-1, it'll just die. So there's really no downside to this.
Yeah. Because yeah, if the Eldar Intendant is dying, you are having back the Librum of Wisdom, so it's not a bad thing. The hand isn't great for the Druid at the moment, I think. And those are bad spells.
Yeah, I guess we're going Pounce, huh? Both of these other cards are abysmally bad.
Yeah. Bones can be okay for the board, also for the owl in hand.
They're gonna have to play another spell here first if they want to keep the benefit from nature studies, though.
They can summon a 2/2 Treant.
And then what? They're gonna hero power?
Oh.
Okay.
I liked Hero Power Bounce on the 2/3.
Yeah, this surrenders the board to the paladin pretty much for the entire game now, actually. Yeah.
And I don't know why do you want to use that bounce later.
Really, it's not too heavy.
The only thing that sticks out to me is like as a potential burst damage tool, but yeah, there's really not a whole lot at this point that Chile can do. That's a good pickup though. Frost of Kennels giving them 3 2/2s like over 3 turns, but That would have been so much better last turn.
It's easier. Okay, hand of Fatal, but no minion on board. We'll have to hero power first if he wants to play it.
Yep. This devout pupil is getting pretty cheap at this point.
Yeah, will be played next turn for sure, I think.
You say that. Arbor Up is looking kind of decent here. Like, you get 2 4/3s that can hit face, as well as 2 4/3s on the board, and a 2/2 from the kennels.
True. Yeah, but if Arbor Up is coming, I don't think you want to bar off Broomstick on that middle border.
So if they go Arbor Up, they put the Paladin down to 19, and they represent 18, 19 on board with the hero power, so...
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't think it's an unreasonable idea.
Yeah, because...
The longer this game goes, the better it's going to be for Norway, because if they can carry on 6 and clear the board, the game is actually over. Ooh, I don't like that trade. They shouldn't have traded there.
It's no, it's not even better against Barof Broomstick because it was anyway dying to the Barof's Death Rattle. It's only better against the Samuro.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? You have to play these aggro decks in these matchups with the idea that at some point you're going to just have to take a gamble, right? You can't just assume that the Paladin player is going to have all the clears, because if you do that, you've already lost the game.
Yeah, totally agree, yeah. Against...
So I think it's better to just hit face there, get the damage in, and then best case for you, the Paladin just trades on their own turn, which I don't think is unreasonable.
I totally agree, yeah. There are two matchups where you can't play around IRE, that's against Paladin and Warlock when you're playing the Druid. So yeah, I also like going face. So here, no reason to go Barof, I think. Board is small.
Especially not when we're at 23. Yeah. And now with this people that's a 6/7, that's actually a really nice boundary. Because now without that Sow the Soil, it would require like 3 minions to clear it, which is massive. With Sow the Soil, it'll only be 2 minions. But that's still quite a lot of investment to get rid of this taunt right here. And also, because of the Alliance Bannerman that was played earlier in the game, this animated Broomstick is a 2/2. So if you play Barrel first and then Broomstick, the Broomstick survives the Barrel of AoE at the end of the turn.
Yeah. Good point, yeah. Trades doesn't feel that great for the Druid. Yeah. We'll have to
Longer
put...
Sentries here is actually quite interesting, because Longer Sentry summons 1/2 taunt minions. 1/2s don't die, like, don't cause Lord Barov to die when he rushes into them.
Good point. Very interesting.
Regrettably, though, that doesn't actually matter because...
Yeah, the Libram.
No, because you can just play Carriel here. Carriel clears both of the taunts, the 2/2, and with the weapon swing, you also clear the Oracle of Elune.
Okay.
You only take 1 damage, so you're down to 19 HP, and then because of the immovable object, all of these 4 attack minions only deal 2 damage. So you're only down to 13 at the end of next turn.
Yeah. But if there were not Kyrell, you had the opportunity to... Oh no, Barof is 4/3, so playing Wisdom on the...
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
Dental wouldn't work, yeah, sorry. So yeah, the only play is Kyrell here. because playing something with hero power, broomstick, man.
Oh no, I
Isn't
don't
it?
like this. This is a bad play. I get what they're trying to do. I do get what they're trying to do. They're trying to be sneaky and hold the carrier, but carrier was just better there. Barrow will always clear the board at some point in this game. Carrier isn't guaranteed to do that.
Yeah.
Like, now Carrier is way worse. I mean, it doesn't matter. They've won the game anyway because they can go for Varian here and Varian clears the 4-5. But I think Carrier was just straight up a better play that turn. But, it's fine. It makes no difference.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll still be fine.
Tide those who set themselves against me.
It's kind of the real strength of this Libram Paladin deck, because it's just so consistent in how it executes its game plan. It's like, as long as you don't freeze their minions or kill them from hand, they're gonna get you eventually.
So, yeah, here as you said, if the game is going to the late game, it's really Paladin favored. So, we have a full hand for Paladin with the board. I don't see the Druid winning that game.
Yeah, I mean, like Dark Lord literally just passed his turn and did nothing. Like, you know you're in a bad spot when that's your best option.
Right. And on the opposite, Van Sprutan can do anything. Lots of good plays. Every plays are really strong that Van Sprutan can do. So yeah, they are just going to go face to finish the game.
Speed up the inevitable.
I think I would have taken that bad trade on the 2-2 because I'm always scared against Druid. But yeah, that's only a winning play.
The thing is, right, we know what one of the cards is. It's Fertilizer because of Jerry Carpenter on turn 2. So there's really nothing I'm scared of in this position. It's like, okay, cool, you played a Mulverick and got a 2-2. That's cool. I've got my Varian here. He hits you for way too much damage and kills you in 2 turns. Have fun, Druid.
For the Alliance and my family.
Okay, carrier trading. And next turn will be over.
You are strong.
So that will be 1-0 for Norway. And
In series number 1.
yeah, so Chile will have the Warlock to answer against Paladin. Not an easy matchup for the Warlock because there are big creatures from the Paladin, and Warlock doesn't have that much stuff to deal with big creature. Like lots of small spell, lots of small removal, but not really nice one against big creature with Divine Shield. Divine Shield are kinda huge against Warlock in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to remind me as well, even if Norway loses this game, their other deck is Face Hunter, right?
Yeah.
So, I'd say they're in a pretty solid spot.
I agree. That matchup, that first game was really important for both teams because that Beast Druid is favored against Face Hunter, I think. So
Yeah.
if Chile was winning that first game, it would have been so different.
We are in game number 2 now in
Yep.
the Mulligan phase. Obviously, this is a matchup where you keep the quest, and you don't really need the removal early on against the Paladin here. This fortunately isn't a matchup where you need the one drop quite as much from the perspective of the paladin on the coin. A Stonehearth Indicator with a noble mount is a very irritating minion for Warlock to deal with.
Yeah, Noble Mount is doing a huge job in that matchup. But yeah, they just need a turn 1 to have a really good hand. Let's see if they will get it. Samurai is very bad.
Samurai is bad until Cariel is played. After Cariel is played, Samurai becomes much better. Because then you can hero power, and then with 2 hero powers it has 9 attack. And with 9 attack on Blade Master Samurai, that hits a boundary that clears everything in the Warlock deck list.
Fair point.
But that is still quite a while away, I will willingly concede. Oh, and speaking of Noble Mount, could we get a refund on that? I want this in my deck so I can get it with Stonehearth Indicator, thanks.
Yeah, we'll go for the hero power, and then next turn we'll have the Stonehearth, I think. So you will be able to play the spell on the 1/1.
Yeah, the only bad outcome here is Hand of a Doll from this Stonehearth Indicator, because if you get Libram, it will cost 0 next turn thanks to the Aldor Truthseeker, and if you get Noble Mount, then like I mentioned, you can get the buff on the Stonehearth Indicator and make it a 4/2 Divine Shield. Regrettably, though, they did in fact pick up the Hand of a Doll, which isn't terrible.
Yeah,
It's not what they wanted, but it isn't terrible.
You're still drawing cards for free. So yeah, still fine for sure.
They've been holding on to this tour guide for quite a while now. As well as got 2 Knolls in hand, so I've got to imagine one of them is going to come down here.
Yeah, you don't have anything else better than dropping a null to do. Playing a Drain Soul doesn't feel great, so... Yeah, I think we'll see a null here. Trading into the Silver Hand Recruit.
I think that, yeah, they're debating the Drain Soul. I think the Knoll is just better, because the Knoll will clear 2 minions pretty much guaranteed. But this way, it's sort of like you're delaying the inevitable a little bit. It's like, sure, you're clearing the 1 minion, but Paladin is going to be getting quite a lot more than 1 minion out.
Yeah, the Null was the same thing, but with a 5/1 at the end of your turn. But...
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think... Why Drain Soul can also be really good later on with Tamsin also?
Yeah, exactly. Like, Drain Soul is a card that's pretty much always going to be useful for the Warlock at some point. There's no Cult Neophytes, there's no Trogs that could make it bad to play spells from the perspective of the Warlock. So, I think it was just a straight up just bad play on the part of Chile here. I'm also not a big fan of Cariel here. I don't think you need to drop Cariel in this position. I'd rather just get the Truthseeker out and just start dropping 0 mana Librams. Because there's not really anything you're looking to coin out. Like, Libram of Hope is decent, but it's not something that screams out as something I want to play on turn 6.
Okay, first step, down. But you really want to deal with that Kyril. Can do it with Null plus Shadowblade, yeah.
Obviously, I never miss.
You here for the tour?
Yeah. Now we're definitely going to see the Truth Seeker. Not a doubt in my mind that this is coming down on 5 here. Like, you get a 4/6 taunt, and you get infinite value Librams. At least until the Showstopper turns up.
Yeah. Van Sprutan going for it. Sinkuch. Oh, yeah, going face.
Yeah, there's no reason to trade.
Mhm,
What are you
mhm.
trading into? Are you trading into Tour Guide? That seems pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Okay. Backfire.
Electron...
One of the best cards.
Yeah, I mean, Backfire's decent, but not on this turn. You wanna build up the board in this position as the Warlock player. I wouldn't mind...
I like Neophyte, Backfire, playing Anetheron. You are helping the
You're
discount
leaving both minions on board if you do that,
and the Flesh
though.
Giant. Yeah, that could be also little in case of One Fury, so yeah, you're right.
What? Wait, what do you mean, Wind Fury?
The Battle Master?
The Battlemaster that's not in the Paladin
Oh.
deck list?
No, sorry. I like. Oh, that's because it's
in the
played in the
Warlock
Warlock.
deck
Yeah,
list.
that's where
Yeah,
my
it's in the Warlock deck
mistake
list.
is coming from. My bad.
Speaking of big minions, though, there's a 2-mana Flesh Giant on turn 6, and that is pretty good. Although, thanks to the 0-mana Libram Wisdom here, that's another boundary point here. You can now have a 9/9 Divine Shield Taunt, which will survive not only the Tour Guide hit and the trade from an 8/8. Like, there needs to be one other thing used as well. Like, that is huge. I see no reason not to do that this turn. Like, the rest of your plays are so bad by comparison. You even risk dying if you don't do that.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't look fine for the Paladin here facing those huge minions.
No. Like, this is sort of why Broomstick is so important
Yeah.
in this Paladin deck, because it's all well and good summoning these big minions, but if you can rush them out in the same turn, that's so huge.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Oh, no, don't do it, guys. It's not the play, no!
We go with Cone Noble Mount, I think, on it. Yeah.
I still don't like this play. I think this was... I'm not a fan of this. I think Libram of Opens is better. Like,
Yeah,
a 9/9 Divine Shield Taunt is way better than the 6/8 Divine Shield Taunt.
Yeah, but
There's no boundary you get next turn by doing this, aside from buffing the Noble Mountain and trading into Flesh Giant.
Yeah, but they are thinking about the very long game, because you still need to have the reduced going on your Libram at a point.
Sure, but you need to survive the short term first. If you don't survive the short term, it doesn't matter about the long term here. But speaking of short term gains, this Raised Dead got 2 Knolls, which is massive. Oh! Oh, that is disgusting! Shadowblade Slinger does 8 damage here. Oh my goodness, that is unfair.
Obviously, I never miss.
And there's the Neophyte as well. Oh, that is not fair. or the second null. Either way, very unfair things happening here from the handlock.
Still no clear for the Paladin. No Broomstick also.
Yeah, if a Broomstick was drawn here, they could clear the Flesh Giant and they could clear the Shadowblade Slinger this turn, but alas, it was not to be. And with 10 cards in deck coming up next turn, as well as a Showstopper in hand, I believe we have a tied series in our hands.
Yes. Here the play can just be Libram on it, and Noblemount. Can't really do anything else. I'm trying to see if there is an outcome on Night of Appointment or... Yeah, no. Hand of Adal on Samuro isn't doing anything. Oh, they will go for the draw. And that won't be anything. So, congratulations to Child. 1-1 in the series.
Still got one game to go, and it's going to be Face Hunter versus Handlock. Game number 3 here.
Yeah. I still think that Face Hunter is favored against that Warlock. I think we still have maybe not a great opinion on that matchup because of months later, before the nerfs on the quest, where Warlock was favored against Hunter. I think now, because of all the nerfs that came into the game, into the Warlock, now Hunter is favored in the matchup.
For me, it depends on the opener. I think if Hunter can like have a wander into Doggy Biscuit, it's going to be pretty hard for the Warlock to beat that. But if they don't have a start quite that egregious, I think that the Warlock could be fine. I think the game is going to be decided within the first 4 turns, pretty much, is what I'm getting at here. Maybe the first 3 turns, actually. One over the other. Ooh, that is a really good opening hand here for Chile.
Yes, maybe the 3 best cards against Hunter. But yeah, maybe not the best 3, but 3 good cards against Hunter for sure. Do you
Very
keep,
much up there, yeah.
Do you keep the whole hand? For the Warlock?
I mean, you remember what I said earlier. I'm not the biggest fan of keeping the
Yeah.
quest when you're going second. But I could see them keeping the quest here. Like, out of confidence, saying, our hand is so good, we keep the quest anyway. But I'm not. I don't think it's correct to keep the quest here.
And about the 3 other cards, do you keep the 3 others?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And yeah, they did throw away the quest. They got an even better card, Dreadlich Tamsin. Dreadlich Tamsin is insanely good if you can get that out on curve.
It's clearing the board, it's giving you health point, it's drawing cards, it's giving you a free way to draw cards, and also giving you some board. So yeah, doing so much stuff for only 6 manas. So yeah, pretty good for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of things that are not good, this hand from Norway is the opposite of good. This hand is in fact terrible. Garbage, one could say. Like, we've got 2 weapons and a Wrangler. Come on, game, where's my 2-drop? Okay, that's decent, but I wanted a 2-drop. I wanted my Doggy Biscuit. And I didn't get it.
At least you can spend your 2 manas.
Like, this is sort of the problem when you're running 3 weapons in the list, where it's like, you want True Aim Crescent, you don't want it now. Light's Justice was not a playable card in Paladin, and it is barely below playable in Hunter, unless it has that kind of effect on it.
Let me work my magic.
So yeah, I think we might see a tap into Shadow Blade Slinger next turn to finish off the initiate here.
Maybe next turn they will be able to draw a spell to go with the initiate. On the Warzone of Wrangler, what do you like to take as a hunter in that matchup?
I think the only thing you can take is Rhino at this point, really. Like, it's a good play on curve. You've got the True Crescent, which lets you deal extra damage. I really don't see how a Volpatinger could be better for you or in this position.
Yeah, kinda agree, yeah, but sometimes you're just having your Rhino in hand, doing nothing for some turns, but yeah, Reportinger are not great also.
Obviously, I'm never
Okay, Slinger will kill the initiate. Oh, the Doggy Biscuit was just here.
That's 2 turns too late, game. That's 2 turns too late. I mean, it's still good, but like, Norway would have loved that, like, any time earlier in the game to get the extra, like, upwards of 6 damage push there. I'd imagine the weapon is almost certainly going to go into this 2-1 here. Right?
Is there a difference between 18 and 19? Let's see.
Oh, no. You never go face when the minion is here. No.
Oh, he was asking for the weapon. Always trade. Okay.
I mean, why wouldn't you trade in this position with the weapon?
To deal 1 face damage?
Yeah, and then make your board less resilient to removal spells. That doesn't sound like a good idea. So here's an interesting debate, which is like, when are you going to use the coin this game? Because Chile have a bunch of options here. They can go like Gold Channel, coin, Drain Soul, clears the board. They can go just Gold Channel on its own and save it for Tamsin. They can go like Tamsin, coin, Drain Soul here. Like, there's a lot of options available.
More bones to gnaw on.
Yeah, that's a solid use of the coin as well. It does, however, give a very clean Rhino hit here on the 2-1 that leaves it alive as a 7-4. Which is a very helpful boundary for the Warlock. Because 3 damage dies to Drain Soul, right? But 4 damage is a lot more difficult to remove effectively.
Here the Rhino can be strong in 1 mana, in 1 health point minion. You can just deal 6 damage.
The annoying bit is that Chile are just going to heal all of that damage back off because of the Tamsin Drain Soul. And there's no real way for Norway to do anything about it. They can't clear Tamsin here. Not without getting rid of a bunch of resources. So yeah, Piercing Shot is decent, but you're not really developing any minions this turn, which is the problem.
I agree.
And also, now that you've used Piercing Shot, the Warlock can just drop the Baron Scavenger as a 6/6 taunt, and it actually does something.
You know nothing of death. Allow me to teach you.
So let's see. Tamsin coming down here, giving them 5 armor and 3 more cards. Looks like they didn't get... Yeah, they didn't get any Felriths drawn. Probably gonna have to use the Rinling's rifle here and just go face. The Hunter is absolutely on the clock. The longer this game goes, the better it'll be for the Warlock, especially if those Bristlebacks start healing for 6.
Yeah, you still need to go a rifle hero power. I think that's the best way to use your mana. It's also very efficient if you are drawing the quick shot, because sometimes putting 4 mana in the weapon can be hard in some turns, and here it's helping you to clearing your hand. To play that rifle now. But yeah, the game will be hard for the hunter.
I like Snake Trap here. So there's like an above 0% chance that this minion could be rushed into in a second. Not a big fan of Explosive Trap though. The Warlock's not going to hit the Hunter in the face until the Hunter is just dead at this point.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I don't really see the point with Explosive Trap. Sometimes so that will enable you to not be killed by the Warlock if the Warlock has a huge board and only 2 health points, but the Warlock can just turn waiting for for healing.
Yeah, like the way this game will almost certainly end is like 2 giants are going to come down, the Hunter's not going to be able to answer them, and then a Battlemaster will come down and give them both Wind Fury. Or, you know, some pretty close equivalent to that. What Norway really need right now, more than anything else, is another Rhino. Another Rhino or Barrack Coat of Bane. If either of those cards are drawn, they have a pretty solid chance of getting back into this game. But yes.
I think you trade that doggy biscuit.
Not as the first thing you do. Because the first thing you want to do here is give Kolek Divine Shield. And then you do it. Because then your minion gets rushed.
Yep. Good order, yeah, for sure. And
Oh,
not the greatest.
that is a terrible pickup. And this is kind of the situation I was going on about on the previous turn. Like, there's nothing Explosive Trap does here. Because there's a reasonable chance that Chile is just going to trade stuff on board. Ice Trap, however, now that actually has potential.
Yeah,
I think I would like Snake Trap instead here, but I can see why they went for Ice Trap.
Yeah, Ice Trap.
And I'm
really strong.
yeah. I'm really not sure why they didn't play these minions though. Like, I don't see any benefit in holding them. Like, Touch of the Naphrazine will always be able to go off at this point. And this kind of, like, rolls back to what I was saying in Game 1. Like, in matchups like this where you're the aggressor, there are points where you just have to start taking risks, or else you won't win. And this is one of those points where, like, you have to play minions here. There's no reason to hold them back and still expect to win this game.
I agree. Will they go face? No. I don't think so.
Absolutely not. But yeah, so there's 14 showing on board right now. Oh, another Trog picked up.
They just got trolled by the Trogs.
Yeah. They just drew really poorly this game. They drew all of their 1-drops at literally every point after they were good. That's really unfortunate for Norway here. I mean, they've still got 2 potential series to catch up, but this is not a good start for them. But yeah, 13 cards in deck here for Chile. As long as they can draw Battlegrounds Battlemaster here, the game is over.
The unity mine is mine. The unity mine is mine.
Yeah, you can sort of see what I mean, right? Like, if they're
Yeah.
dropping minions now, why not drop them last turn?
Yes, and also why don't dropping the Wolpertinger?
I think they just ran out of time.
Oh,
Like, I think
Okay.
that's the only reason why you wouldn't drop it there, outside of just making a weird mistake. Like, the only reason I can think of to hold it is to get exactly piercing shot on it. Like, you'd have to top deck quick shot into piercing shot. But that's so unlikely that I just wouldn't even, like, go for that line. I just don't think that's worth going for.
You have served
6 heads here for the Warlock, thanks to the Bristleback.
Yep. As well as the Scavenger coming down here. So at this point, Chile is at 13, and I don't think there's any way they can die here.
Yeah, most of the times. Most of the
Now-
times,
now-
if the Warlock is can just play his Bristleback, the game is over. The hunter has to kill before the Bristleback coming on board.
Yeah. Okay. I guess the thought from Norway is that the only way they beat Bristleback is holding the Volpertinger and then going quick shot, as in you get, like, on the following 2, you top deck quick shot into piercing shot for lethal. Well, I'm guessing that's what they thought their out was if they were going to play around Bristleback there.
Yeah. So, very well played from Chile. So that's 1-0 for them currently.
Yep. And now we can move on into the next set of players and lineups for this best of 3 Team League series here. So it'll be Blowns versus Elefanti.
Yeah. So let's move on with the lineups. Here is Blowns at the screen. With Demon Hunter, Paladin and Warrior. His Paladin has been banned, so we won't see another Paladin coming in. And the 2 other decks are the Fel Demon Hunter and the Warrior with the cool OTK with Captain Calvangar.
Yeah, the Control Warrior and Fell Demon Hunter here. A very anti-aggro centric lineup we've got going on.
Yeah. So, what is your opinion about that Control Warrior? Do you think it's a very good deck?
Not particularly. I have a very poor opinion of Control Warrior in general. I think that... I think this is straight up better decks in the game. I think the only reason you ever queue Control Warrior is if you want to beat aggro. And if we're queuing Control Warrior to beat aggro, they're running all of this combo nonsense with Galvangar, Faceless Minute, Battlegrounds, Battlemaster, and to the front. I think it's all irrelevant. You never beat control decks. You never beat combo decks with this Control Warrior deck. It's just not possible. Like running down the list real quick. Handlock beats this because you can just Showstopper, Silence the Ratagore, and then you just get them with like a giant neophyte turn into Battlemaster. Like, OTK Demon Hunter beats this because they can destroy the Bulwark and then just kill you with OTK damage. Priest can beat this because they can copy the Rattlegore and just get tons of Rattlegores and kill you that way. And like Libram Paladin is infinite Librams, etc, etc, etc. The only thing I think Warrior is good for is beating aggro. And unfortunately for Chile, that is exactly what is not present in the Norwegian lineup this time round.
Yeah, we can move to the Norway's lineup with also Demon Hunter, Mage, and Rogue. One OTK with Mage, that's terrible. Demon Hunter can do lots of damage, and Rogue is very good against control deck with that weapon. The Rogue has been banned for Elephanty, so we will see the Mozaki played, and I think that Mozaki can be terrific for Blown's lineup. Maybe it's close to 50-50 against the Demon Hunter, against Mozaki.
Really? I think it's a blowout. I think Mozaki just destroys this lineup. I'm really surprised it wasn't banned here. Like, I think it's like 80+% against Warrior. There's like 60% against the Demon Hunter. I think the only way the Demon Hunter gets there against Mozaki Mage is going for early Magfaradon and just hoping they connect with it.
Fel Demon Hunter has lots of face damage.
Do they? Do they? I don't think they do. They have what? They have 2 Fury, 2 Chaos Strike, 2 Fel Barrage. That's it.
Yeah, but just Arcanist plus Fel Barrage is 16 damage.
If you draw both Arcanists and both Fel Barrages in a deck that doesn't run that much card draw, it only runs 2 Skull of Gul'dan, 2 Fel Gorger, and the aforementioned 2 Chaos Strike. So I'm very skeptical.
You can't kill on 7 in that matchup. I played it on training with friends, and sometimes as a Fel Demon Hunter, I managed to kill on 7, and Mozaki isn't faster than 7. So yeah, most of the times Mozaki will be faster, but that's not in only one way, I think.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I'll lay my cards on the table. I hope you're right. I hate Mozaki Mage. I am really upset that this deck is still viable. I have wanted this deck to die in the last balance patch. I thought, okay, Incantus Flow costs 4 mana now. There's no way the card is still good, right? It still is! Help! Help.
Yeah, but I think that's also what the child want to do with letting that mage open, is that having a shot with the Demon Hunter, that Mozaki will be the villain of that confrontation between the 2 players, I think. So we'll see.
I don't know. I think that is a very questionable decision. But we'll see. We'll see how it pays off. And yeah, if we're looking at the lineup from Norway here, it's the aforementioned Weapon Rogue, Mozaki Mage, and Fel Demon Hunter. I think the Fel Demon Hunter lists are pretty much identical, besides the one from Chile running the Vipers.
Yeah, we'll see if the Fel Demon Hunter can be the hero and destroys the Mozaki. We'll take the players. They can go. So Elephanty against Blowns. Blowns at the top of your screen, and Elephanty at the bottom of your screen.
So, fun fact about Elephanty. Yesterday, I asked the Orange Discord server to say, hey, do you want to talk about anything on stream? And I got some very unique comments. I'm going to scroll up and see if I can get some. Hold on.
Yep, go for it. And match just started.
So yeah, I've seen a variety of comments that, for the sake of me retaining my job here, I won't repeat on stream. But one of the Orange mods did tell me to mention the fact that Elephanty does like playing bad elephant decks. So you know who you are. I hope you're proud of yourself. And that was a Skull of Gul'dan thrown away in the mulligan. That's a bit weird.
And here is the matchup we were talking about. And here is a flow for the mage.
Can we move on to game 2? I'm kidding. It's obviously not over yet, but it that is not what Chile will want to see.
Chaos Strike is very good on curve for the Demon Hunter. Let's be optimistic. He also has the Felgorger. The curve is okay. Sometimes you're not curving that well as a Demon Hunter.
Misaki already too. So now the Spring Wars are super likely to be able to get 4 mana back. This is fine.
You're not helping me. You're talking about sad things.
I'm sorry. It's just I look at the Demon Hunter curve, right, and it's like the first minion was a 1/1 on turn 3. This is as good as it's gonna get for the Mozaki mage. Like, the Norwegian team is probably really, really happy seeing this kind of opener.
Okay, Chaos Strike.
And push an extra 2 damage whenever they want. Probably gonna see the Rune Orb here and then just ping on the Felgorger. Ooh. This is a tough decision. Primordial Stays and Siphon Mana are both pretty good.
Tandos still here. They can go for Chaos Strike, and if they are drawing their Arcanist, it's just 10 face damage. Okay, will only be 6 damage.
2 mana Fireball.
Yeah.
Okay, respect where it's due. There is a quite hefty amount of damage being pushed. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. The mage is definitely being pushed into single-digit life totals here.
Yeah.
But they just threw another Incantus Flow. Oh no.
Yes.
Okay,
The Demon Hunter
okay,
isn't
do you-
that far. I hope you are. Yeah. Go for it.
I think the game is pretty much okay. Yeah. I think the game is pretty much over at this point. If the Chileans aren't dead next turn, they will be on turn 7 100% of the time here. Especially if, God forbid, they can get the honorable kill on that Siphon Mana.
Yeah. I also think the game. I also think the game is for mage here, but I hope you are seeing what I was saying before when we were talking about the lineups. That Demon Hunter can do something isn't that far against mage. But yeah, the hand with double flow is really hard.
Not even going for the flow.
Yeah.
I can respect that. They don't need flow here. 10 cards in hand, just casually accepting the overdraw. Because, yeah, Elephanty in Norway, they know what's about to happen, and it is not going to be good.
Oh, Stelina would have been pretty strong, maybe to dump out Mozaki.
You were thinking Stelina? I was thinking Glide. Glide would be way better.
Also, yeah, that will do.
One more chance.
Oh no!
They didn't get it. Oh no. And we all know what that means.
Oh, Arcanist is here. Felberage left to have 8 damage.
Yep. Well, time for the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Is this gonna be lethal? I'm pretty sure it will be, but we're about to find out.
Oh,
They would have liked to draw on that. Okay.
huge overdraw. So they will have to go for it.
have to go for it.
Yes. I don't know.
They don't have to go for it. Like, it's only one Fell Barrage left. That's the only source of damage that can be lethal here. They don't have to go for it.
Mm.
I think they should go for it, but they don't have to.
There can be a skull drawing Felbar Rage also there, so it's not that unlikely for the Demon Hunter to kill the mage.
I don't disagree, but I think based on their hesitation, they're not going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going for it. Alright. Last turn here for the Demon Hunter. Let's see. Can they get it? That is not gonna do it, and regrettably for AtomiK, regrettably for the Chileans, the duck is always right, and now there's pretty much no way this isn't gonna be an OTK next turn.
Oh. No.
You can't tell me this isn't gonna be lethal.
Yeah.
No way.
I was
refuse to believe it.
thinking about playing the Fell Scream on the 6-4 minion, because maybe 2 health points were better than the damage, because you had Jace on turn 8, but that doesn't change that much things.
No, it does not.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just watching some fireworks going off here. Mizaki with a lot of biscuits, a lot of cards being played. Ringmore, I think, will cost 3 mana here, so that's going to give them 1 mana back. They're drawing 9 cards. Oh, they do siphon mana before overdrawing, so that's pretty huge. Yeah, in fact, it's just lethal, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And that means it's now going to be time for Mozaki Mage versus Control Warrior. You could not have picked a better matchup for Mozaki Mage if you tried.
This time, I won't say that Mozaki isn't very favored. I won't lie this time.
I don't know what to say, dude. Like, what's the first minion Control Warrior can play? They can play Barrel on 3 or Viper on 3, and then the next available minion is Rauger on turn 9. Oh no. Can we just move on to Series 3? Do we have to do this?
This won't be the funniest game to watch. Oh, Elephantine need to restart his client. It crashed.
Yeah, I wish playing 2 flows as Mizaki Mage crash my client every game. Then I'd have less incentive to play it.
So you can talk to us about the matchups of Warrior against Mage Mozaki, because it's a very very interesting matchup. How do you think is the matchup? I'm just kidding.
I know you are. I fear I'm much too blunt about these things sometimes. But what is there to say? The only way I can see Norway losing this is if somehow the opponent has a bulwark up and they just spam all their spells and they just run out of cards. That's the only way I see this somehow being a loss for the mage here.
So okay, maybe with a bad internet connection, that can happen. Blounce was asking how much time it has to wait. We are just waiting for the Elephantis game
It's like,
to be back.
maybe if the Mozaki maze doesn't turn up for 10 minutes, maybe that's how the warrior gets the win. Maybe that's how it's possible.
Maybe that's the outcome for the child. Maybe they came to Norway to just put off the internet in Elephantis' house.
What? They've got the wire cutters. They just cut the wires just to make sure that the control warrior can't lose to the Misaki mage. Okay.
Oh, it started, right?
Yep.
Sorry. Oh.
Alright, here we are. Don't have Elephanti's hand at this point, so I'm gonna hop back in and out again. Just to see if I can get their hand once again.
I had to find Elephanti bottom in my friend list. I had to look in the disconnected players to find Elephanti.
Out to play. Hope will be my guide.
So here it is. No flow for Elephanti.
Yeah, but they don't need it. They don't need it on curve in this matchup. Okay, they probably do. They probably need it by like turn 6, to be fair, because this Controria deck can actually kill people. It's not impossible. You just need to draw Galvangar, Faceless Manipulator, to the front Battlemaster.
And you can
In a
kill
deck with no card draw because the only card draw comes from Outrider's Axe. This is fine. I see nothing wrong with this.
you can kill on 9.
If you get really
Yeah.
lucky, yes.
And Mage is killing on 8 if he's unlucky. So I don't really see how the warrior can be faster as the mage, but let's see. Already 2 pieces of combo with the manipulator and Galvangar.
There it is. Yep, Outrider's Axe to the face because this deck never plays minions.
Only 27 health points left for the mage.
Only another 9 hits of the weapon to go. I mean, they have what? They have 3 hits with this weapon. They have 2 hits with the unstoppable force. So they can do a fair amount of damage with the weapons. Oh, that is quite a lot of mana being refilled here. I wonder if Philippantia will go for the second copy of Springwater here. You know, strike while the iron's hot. This hand, by the way, is not looking good. We've just got all of the removal and none of the minions, because Controria just doesn't play minions either. What's this? Multicaster drawing 1, I believe? Oh no, it does draw 2. Bit awkward though, because now I guess actually you don't mind if the warrior hits in to the multicaster here. Okay, yeah, this works. But yeah, I don't think you mind if the warrior hits into the multicaster here.
Yeah, Slam will do the job.
And there's Bulwark.
It the warrior can also just deal 18 with Galvangar and Faceless only. And 18 will be rich for the warrior, so maybe. Let's see. Let's think the next top deck is the
Typhon Mana Cram Session.
If the
Yes.
warrior is drawing buff to the front, it can be lethal on 8.
Oh, actually, wait. Hold on, let me do some math real quick. So, Elephanti's at 21 at the moment. The Unstoppable Force would deal 10 damage over 2 turns. And then with the hero power, that's actually lethal next turn. Oh, wow. Unbelievable! The warrior is actually going to win. Please don't make me look like an idiot. Please don't lose mage, please. Please. The only way
9.
that Norway can survive here is by getting Rune Orb into Ice Barrier. Oh no. Oh no.
It looks like, yeah, it's insane. Looks like the warrior will win the game.
Not like this.
Where
Not like this.
it's what we
I
call
was so confident.
karma. Yeah, we were wrong during the whole time.
It's not my fault that they freaking drew Outrider's Axe, Rakara, and Galvangar on curve, okay? It's not my fault.
Magic? I've heard of it.
Oh no. There's no spell damage minion with Taunt. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe they don't spot it. Maybe they don't spot the lethal. Oh, they spot the lethal. God.
Are you happy to see Mozaki's mage losing a game? Are you
I'm not
sad?
happy because I was proven wrong. I thought this was an 80% matchup and they somehow lost it, man. I'm salty. But that's okay because it doesn't matter what I feel. It matters what the players feel. And we're moving on to game number 3,
Yeah,
which is going to be Fel Demon Hunter versus Control Warrior.
yeah. Shout out in the chat to Total Orange that said minutes ago, I wonder how it feels being wrong all the time. Guess I should ask a duck. So he knew that you were always wrong.
Into your anger.
You know, you can always trust a fellow Brit to point out contradictions in logic. You know, it's like my logic was foolproof. Okay, it's not my fault they threw the nuts.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah. Okay, but in all seriousness, this matchup is pretty warrior favored, I'd say.
I'm not trusting you anymore.
You're not trusting me anymore. The world has been flipped upside down. Okay.
But-
What do you think then?
I will be agree with you.
So I say it's favored. You then say, "Oh, I don't believe Paraducks anymore," but it's favored anyway. Like, what? I
Yeah,
don't mean that's how that works.
even with that you are seeing that warrior is favored. I will agree with that.
But yeah. By the way, this is a really cool Shah Illidan portrait for Demon Hunter. I like it a lot. It's a shame there's no good warrior portraits of Rakara, man. How do we think the Fel Demon Hunter's gonna get there this game? Like, if at all?
Sorry, didn't understand.
How do you think Norway's gonna win this game? Like, if they can win this game?
With the AtomiK, he will win with the Galvangar push. Galvangar, Faceless, and Windfury on them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how the warrior wins. I was wondering how the demon hunter
Oh,
wins.
sorry, I thought you said the blowns. Oh, for the demon hunter.
Yeah.
Trying to keep pushing damage to keep the opponent close to 30 health points, and then finishing the job with the
With
combo with the hero power and the tokens. If the warrior is playing the Rattlegore.
They don't need to play Radical, though, that's the
I
thing. But
agree.
yeah, I guess it's just wishful thinking.
Yeah, because Jace can deal something like 20 damage, and the warrior won't be under 20 damage, I think.
Heavy plate here could give them 8 more armor. But they're gonna trade it back, and they're getting Shield Slam, which that's pretty efficient.
I bet you can do this.
Bulwark is going to be pretty useful, like, going into the chase turn, preventing quite a bit of damage. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot that's going on at the moment, because the Warriors is trying to draw into Rakara, and the Demon Hunters is trying to get to their Skull of Gul'dan. And I think the Honourable Gentleman with me is trying to work on the stream, so I'm all alone. I'm all alone. Just like how this Standard Arcanist here is all alone, you know, just trying to just punch it. I just imagine, like, he's like, I've used all my power, now I have to punch him. just punch him 1 damage every turn while the warrior just gets 2 armor. It's the story of that guy who, like, pulls the boulder up the mountain and then it just rolls back down again, you know, it's that kind of story. And now he's gone, so, you know, that was my fun rant over.
Can they go for the skull? Yeah, only 7 cards in hand, so skull on 7, here we go.
Here we go. Let's see what they get. Kurtrus would be really helpful right about now, because then at least the Demon Hunter hero power at least does as much damage as the warrior gains armor normally per turn. That'd be nice. Do they get it? They do not. Magfarodon is probably not going to be that good in this matchup because of just all the ways that the warrior can deal with it. Like, they've got Barrow that can deal with it, got Brawl that could potentially deal with it. It's not a very useful card.
Every warrior card can deal with it, basically. But yeah, still will coming down. How do you think Blowns will deal with it? What will be his choice? Barrow plus Bulwark?
It's a really good question, actually. Yeah, there's not really a good way of dealing with this. You might honestly be right on the money when you say it's just Barrow, Bulwark, armor up this turn. Because there's not really a... Oh, Barrow Brawl. Okay, fair enough. That works too.
Yeah, maybe even
100%
better.
of the time that clears mag, so yeah, that works too.
Yep.
Ooh, second Skull of Gul'dan picked up here.
Alas, poor
Oh, and there's Kurtrus. Regrettably, it can't be played this turn though. It's 1 mana off.
Yeah. Sadly. I think that you will keep the Fell Barrage for later, combined with the Talented Arcanist. 4 mana,
Gonna be
8 damage.
8 damage?
Yeah. Seems great.
It sure does, because yeah, there's not really any point where Ratgul's going to be able to come down this game. Okay. Frozen Buckler, alright. So Frozen Buckler will enable Shield Slam at some point in the near future. So Shield Shatter, I believe it's called? Yeah, there we go. That'll clear the 2 Fellbats that Kurcha summons. They're going for it now, though. Okay. Very interesting choice.
Here the Dementor will go for Cutlass.
I don't really see why they wouldn't, because it's at least 1 more damage per turn, like no matter what.
Yep. I agree. I think that's the only play right now. You don't want to deal more than 8 damage because of the Shield Shatter
Because
effect.
of the Butler, yeah.
So I think that will be end turn after that.
When are you playing Kurtrus then?
Yeah.
Are you playing it?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know, this feels kind of wasteful to me. I think you could have just Hero Powered this turn, played Kurtrus, Hero Powered again, hit them for 5.
Totally agree.
And that would achieve mostly the same result.
You are losing damage by doing what Elephanty did.
Yeah. I don't know. I just never see how the lifesteal on this Warblades ever matters in this matchup. Because the Warrior's going to kill you from full, I'm pretty sure.
How far the Warrior is for the AtomiK?
I mean, there's 18.
Yeah, they just need the second to the front and the Battle Master.
And, yeah. 17 cards left in deck, though. Honestly, I think the win condition for Chile here will probably just be fatigue. Like, rather than, wait. What are we doing? Why is this Radical coming down? What? Help? Why is this Radical
Is
here?
that just lethal right now? Is it right?
It is.
It is, sorry.
It is.
Yeah.
What? I'm lost. What? Guys, I am confusion. What happened? Why did this Radical come down? I don't get it. They didn't need to do this. I'm speechless. I genuinely am. I think that Chile could genuinely have just not played that route or just waited Norway out.
Yes, I was talking about something at the start of the game. That as the Demon Hunter you have to hope that the opponent will play Watergore.
And they did.
Yeah,
You were
it's a
absolutely
Watergore.
right. They did play it. Okay, we're going on to series number 3 now. Sorry, mate. Oh,
And
well.
thanks a lot to Alban Lady, to the sub-gift, to 5 people on the TV.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
Thank you, Alban Lady.
Including to you. That's why
including.
you're thanking her, really. Because you got a gift sub, okay. I see how it is round here.
Yeah.
Where's my gift sub,
Kinda lucky.
guys?
Oh. Don't be jealous.
Hey, man, I'm doing good, honest work here. You know, I wanna partake in those free Max Team emotes, which you can use with your Twitch Prime. That you can sub to Max Team TV for free to get such amazing emotes as you will probably see in chat right about now.
Okay, so that's currently 1-1 in that confrontation. So everything will be on the last round between Murkrani Child and GR Stade. I hoped it wouldn't go to that game because I can't pronounce the pseudo very well. They are not easy to pronounce. So we'll see how it goes. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just not gonna pronounce names. I'm just gonna say Stad.
Yeah.
You know,
Was a good.
it's 4/7 of the name. It's good enough. If they wanted the name pronounced correctly, they should have told us how they wanted it said. Or just picked a simpler name, you know, one or the other.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's move with the lineup from Mokrani Child. I have Hunter, Mage, and Priest. Miracle Priest, we haven't seen it already today. So, do you have thoughts about that Miracle Priest Paraducks?
It's definitely not my flavor of priest, but it's definitely a solid choice, right? It's a very explosive kind of deck. You just get like a big board over the course of 1 or 2 turns, and you just use that to win the game from there with Nazmeli Bloodweaver and Gift of Luminance. It's usually better, I'd say, against the more like board-centric matchups, which like there's the Druid and maybe the Quest Shaman. I have to imagine that the matchup against Controria, though, would be terrible. Because all they just have to do is brawl and you're just back to square one.
Yep.
Like, unless you get value tools and just grind the warrior out or something.
Yeah, oh, you will be happy. Guess what has been the ban from the child? The mage has been banned for the child. So
Yeah, no Mozaki Mage for me to get wrong about this time. Hell yeah.
I know you're happy.
I am always happy when Mozaki Mage isn't seen play.
We both get wrong because I thought that the Demon Hunter would defeat the mage, so I'm also happy to not see another Mozaki Mage. So
So in the end, we were both right and both wrong, and therefore it cancels each other out. It's all good.
You're right. Okay, so let's see Stad lineup. We have Druid, Shaman, and Warrior. His Warrior has been banned, so there was no reason to see a Mage against Warrior this time. Both has been banned, and the other deck is a Quest Shaman, and the other is a Beast Druid. Kinda surprised to not see a single ramp Druid with big minions. Another big Druid. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting. This list is also kind of unique. It's running Pathmakers, Park Panthers, and Capture Goldtooth Mine. That's definitely not something you see every day in this deck.
Yep. Okay, do you want to talk a little bit more about the Quest Shaman in this matchup? How do you feel against Priest, for example? I don't really know how the matchup is between Shaman and Priest.
So, I think that the matchup is basically Shaman favored. It depends. If the Shaman player ever rolls Revolve, the game is instantly over. But that's if they roll it. And the only way they can do that is with Instructor Fireheart or Guidance. No other effect in the deck can generate it. So it's kind of up in the air, really. I'd say that it's good against Face Hunter, especially with the double Canal Slugger. because that's something you don't often see 2 copies of in the deck anymore. But with it should definitely be a favorable matchup.
Okay. We can move on with the confrontation now.
If the players are ready to start, that is.
Yeah. I have been asked. Okay, telling players I can go and. Okay, so currently 1-1 in the confrontation between the 2 countries. Last opposition to see who will win tonight. Don't forget to send cheers to your favorite country. Top or bottom command to send some energy.
Speaking of that, who's your favorite country that's still in the league besides France? Because that would be cheating.
I would say Italy.
Fair choice. Why Italy?
Because I have some parents from there, so.
Oh,
That's
really?
Kinda my
Fair-
second
fair
country after France. So that's why I also love them. And what about you, besides United Kingdom?
Oh, you put me on the spot there. I need to look at the list. So I'm going to go do that, and we're going to get into Quest Shaman versus Malagos Miracle Priest.
That's something very risky to ask a question while you can't answer at the "what about you" question.
For the light.
I can answer it. I just didn't have all 16 of the teams in front of me, okay? It's not my fault that I'm being a good caster and paying attention to the game, alright? and now that I look at the list, I'm gonna give a solid answer here in the form of let's go with Denmark, because Denmark, of course, has Fury Hunter on it, and as we all know very well, you can't beat Fury Hunter. It's just not possible.
Good point also. So yeah, as you said, Quest Shaman against Priest. Let's see how the matchup will go. The hand is not that great for Chile. They have Thrive in the Shadows. Oh, they decided to not keep the Thrive in the Shadow. I thought it was always okay, because you don't want to play before the turn 2, and you have a Discover that is better than just drawing a card.
You were saying
Here it's
why
like,
keep Thrive in the Shadows, making you destroy it on turn 1? Why? Yeah, why make smart decisions making you destroy what you need? I don't know. My problem is I haven't played enough of this deck to properly judge like in-depth mulligan decisions. I think though you're really looking for palm reading, like getting this out on turn 3 or 4 is so huge.
Yeah.
Especially when going into that big Nazmani turn.
That's exactly what I wanted to keep Thrive in the Shadow, because you are more likely to get a palm reading if you are keeping Thrive than throwing it, because throwing it is a draw and keeping it is a Discover. But okay, everything is fine. Palm reading is here, Thrive is here also, so everyone is happy.
I'm not happy yet. There hasn't been a revolve generated yet. I'm kidding. But still, the fact that guidance is here is going to be very helpful for Norway. I mean, it's not just revolve either. There's also devolving missiles that can also get rid of Nazmani boards, but it's way less efficient. There's also, I guess, like primordial studies into Steward of Scrolls that can also give you an out for revolve or devolving missiles.
Interesting choice. They are all good, all great. I think Psyche Split is too expensive, maybe? But 3 good choice.
No time.
I have to imagine that Fortitude is a bit better because that's going to be easier to play on the Nazmani turn than Psyche Split will be, but yeah, all of these aren't terrible. I imagine we're probably going to see Zapper into Serpent Shrine Portal here. That's putting a pretty solid board presence up. Oh, gonna go for guidance instead. Really getting the cards they're looking for though. Probably just gonna Hero Power, I guess?
Yes. You want to play the Bloom on the turn when you will finish the first step. So they can go for it next turn. Or they will go for it
Going for
right
it
now.
now.
Yeah. Playing Serpentshire and Novice Zapper.
Okay. Oh, and then Molten Blast? Okay. Yeah, I don't mind this, because you can still Serpent Shrine Portal next turn. You can also use Wind Chill to freeze one of the elementals and draw a card. Okay. Ooh, and yeah, Molten Blast being a fire spell is actually really huge here, because that's going to give another card drawn from Multicaster when that comes out on a turn
My
4?
palm is
Yeah.
purple, not really red.
In fact, yeah, Multicaster's actually going to draw 4 cards on curve. That's actually insane.
Oh, look at the chat, Paraducks. On Twitch. You will be happy about that.
I am very happy about that. Thank you very much to Elben Lady for successfully being guilt-tripped into giving me a sub. I greatly appreciate it. Smiley face. Anyway, looking at the game here,
No time.
sounds pretty good if Nazmani Bloodweaver is drawn. I think, yeah, there's Malagos here. Yeah, Nazmani would be nutty if drawn here.
Okay, yeah, we'll go for the Multicaster, and the curve is kinda strong for the Shaman here. Putting a huge bird on turn 4.
Oh. Guess we may see a Gift of the Naru here to try to find the Nazmani first, maybe?
Okay. Is correct a thing?
Alright, the Blood Rager would actually give them a 3-5 here.
Yes, but it's kinda easy for the Shaman to HK it because you can just trade Serpentshire. With all this 1-1, it's pretty easy to just put the Korak at the amount of health points you want and then finish him.
Oh yeah, absolutely, but I'm not going to complain about a 0 mana 3-5
Yeah,
that diverts 5 damage. That's pretty good.
And about 4 mana, 2 3-5. Also great.
Well, it would be great, except for the fact that Perpetual Flame clears both of them, but you know, it's the thought that counts, right? It's the thought that counts.
Yeah. That's still wasting 2 mana for the Shaman, losing 2 minions, so still great. Also, it's also overloading for 2.
Sure does. So if you go for that into Feral Spirit, you would only have a 3 mana available next turn, unless you go for Overdraft. Yeah, here we go. Perpetual Flame into Serpent Shrine Portal here. Ooh, okay. That's not a bad 3-drop.
Oh, and in that matchup, that Dream can do something, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it bounces a minion that got pumped pretty hard by the
Feed on this way.
Elec Mount, but yeah,
Yeah.
we're off to the races here. Nocturne Chile just going straight out the double Nazmani into the gift. Ooh, yeah, Zyrella also is very likely to be able to clear the board in this position. That's huge.
This battle is far from over.
We'll be able to play the Psyche Split maybe also?
Ray's dead. Okay, Zyrella costs 0, so that can come down now.
Yeah.
What knowledge do the stars provide?
There's not really a whole lot of other playable spells on this turn.
If both Reduction are coming on Maligos, then you can play Maligos and look for 0 mana spells, but it's unlikely to happen.
The rope's burning at this point. I don't think that would be a viable investment. Oh, they're gonna go for Brightwing. Okay, let's see what legendary they get.
Okay, that's a minion at least.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird minion. I'm not sure how useful it will be. Huh. I think though we will probably see the overdraft on the 2/5 Nazmani Bloodweaver and then just use Canal Slogger to finish it off this turn, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think it's worth going for Dream yet, but maybe it is.
If an Elec Mount would have been played, a Dream would be perfect, but it's a very hard question because at the point you want to keep the Druid for a Deathrattle minion with Elec Mount on it, but also you want to do something right now on that huge board, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's a tough decision for Norway as well. They're beginning to rope out. I think Overdraft probably has to be played this turn. And then it's just what else to do with the remaining 5 mana. And yeah, it looks like they are going to go for the Slogger, and I think they're going to hold on to the Dream.
It looks like,
looks like it, yeah.
They would have killed the 2/5 if they wanted to play the Dream.
Laughing Sister, that's average, I guess. Oh no, this sounds actually a little bit awkward here for Chile, because they can play Malagos, but they're only going to draw 6 cards, and they're only going to get those spells reduced by 1 per spell, so it's not ideal for right this second.
Maybe with a Lucky Desperate Prayer on the Psyche Split. Wow, it came out! That's huge. 2 mana Psyche Split. So now every spell is giving them 2 mana. That's a huge
They only
difference.
have 1 other spell they can play though with that at the moment.
The Psyche Split can reduce also a 1 mana spell, so...
Yeah, I'm just saying, it just depends
Okay.
on what they hit at this point.
Oh,
Gonna go for Shamba Devour here.
don't going for it, okay. Fair point.
I guess the logic is, why go for it now when you can just go for it next turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dream on Malagos here isn't terrible, to be honest, because it's still gonna cost 9 mana, and you're not really that concerned if the priest wants to spend 9 mana to redraw, back up with the hand. So you could go Dream on Malagos and then Canal Slogger to finish off the Nazmani Bloodweaver. It wouldn't be ideal, but it's an option. You don't really want to let a Malagos sit there on the board.
What to do?
Things are not looking great for the shaman, huge minions.
No, they're not.
I not
But
totally
like
agree with the dream on Maligos because you can go back quickly to few manas. Okay, the hand is already full for the priest, so sorry, close to full. So okay, Maligos isn't that great.
It's not guaranteed, by the way, that Bloodweaver will come back from Raised Dead, because Brightwing and 2 Korok the Blood Rages have also died this game. It's likely, it's just not guaranteed. Ascent Kreen is also going to give a useful value trade here against the Slugger. Yeah, now they can go for a big combo turn.
Feed on this world.
I'm surprised they're going for it now, though, and not next turn. That seems a little bit premature. Well, what do you think?
About
This turn?
No time.
Oh no, I'm just a little bit confused. Like, why go for Bloodweaver now?
to have
Why not wait?
some reduction already because you still has other reduction.
Yeah, I mean, it was reduced by the insight, so you would have had a pretty strong, like, following turn. I don't know. But still, from the second race there were 2 Bloodweavers, so next turn is probably going to be pretty good. They are running out of spells, though. They only have, like, what, 4 left?
What to do?
Yeah, 4 spells left in hand. There's a whole bunch of minions.
Yeah. There are 2 cards from Brukan. They are not going to take it to have it right now on hand. They will go for the Serpent Train and trade on the Nazmani.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually not very... yeah, that's not actually that good for the Shaman here, because you don't really want Mischief and Prime in your deck. You want to play better cards, like Fireheart or Guidance in this position as the Shaman.
But that still can give you some turn with 299 rush. Can clear some boards.
You're not wrong. But I think when we see the board that's about to be made, I think 2 9/9s for 9 mana is going to look pretty inefficient by comparison.
My palm is purple.
You might be right. Also, Crane will do something with the trade on Xyrella and the Mishfin maybe? Yeah, finally. But yeah, both 299 can clear the Nazmani. Only has 8 mana right now, but that's not that
Fetch your flame.
inefficient.
Up. So, yeah, Lightning Bolt will fully complete the quest at this point.
There is
Which is
something funny with Perpetual Flame and Korok. If you can have 2 spell damage, you just have infinite Perpetual Flame, so infinite Overload, and you can just go face with Overdraft. But we want it now.
Would it be infinite?
30 to be exact?
No. What I
Oh.
mean is though, it's like it correct like gets resummoned
It's
like only when it's not honorably killed, so that wouldn't work.
if you have, sorry, 2 spell power
Yeah.
on your perpetual flame.
Yeah, it would deal 5. You mean
Yeah.
if it has 3 spell power, right?
Oh, maybe I talked too fast. Yeah. My
Oh,
bad.
hey, Deathwing. uh. Yeah, this is it's getting a little bit crazy at the moment with just the board states that both sides are generating at this point.
We will feed on this world.
Oh, there's Malagos number 2 coming down here, it looks like, in a minute.
Yeah, the hand will not cost that much mana.
Let's see, Shards of the Nara
Yeah.
coming down. This won't be lethal, that's for sure, but this is gonna push quite a bit of damage. I'm actually kind of curious if it might possibly be lethal on the other side here for the Shaman. Like, if the, yeah, okay. Oh, the Deathwing stuck! Oh! That's huge! Wait a minute. Yeah, that's lethal. Oh man. Because now with a Brukan, that'll corrupt the Dunk Tank. And then the Dunk Tank will deal 8 and there's 16 on board. So that means that the Miracle Priest is out of there. Gotta work on your rope skills, man. Can't be losing games like that. Oof. That is unfortunate.
And victory for Chile. 1-0 in the tiebreaker position. So if they can win the last game, oh sorry, 1-0 for Norway. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah. If they can win one more game in this series, they've taken it. And like you said at the start, winning rounds at this point is very important because only top 2 teams make it to the final stage.
Kinda optimistic the way you are thinking about it. Just it's more losing is really a hard thing because you need to win lots of match to qualify for the next stage, while you can't lose that much. So yeah, it would be terrible for the nation who lose tonight.
Yeah, speaking of terrible hands, that opening hand from the Hunter over there, that is almost certainly getting full mulliganed away. Not a chance you're sticking with that.
Yeah, will be a full mulligan. And same on Shaman side, I think.
Really? I like Slugger and Lightning Bolt. Oh no, maybe you don't keep Lightning Bolt, but you definitely keep Slugger.
I forgot we were facing a hunter. That's still 4 mana. Okay, we'll keep both of them. Paraducks always right.
Paradox always right, except for the one time we don't talk about on this stream. But yeah. This Doggy Biscuit is also hitting a pretty helpful boundary here 4 health on this Volpatinger means it won't die to the lightning bolt right out the gate. And there's 2 of them! Oh no! Having to trade 2 for 1 on removing 1-drops does not feel great. Oh! The second sloggy boy! You love to see it.
Yeah, it will be lots of health point for the shaman. That's a clear. That's something. But that's very expensive for the shaman. And sometimes the shaman can run out of cards. Because... 2 canal
like...
slugger. That's still heavy.
Yeah, it's like... You're not wrong, but I think the hunter's going to run out of cards first, especially when they've got 2 aim shots and a rhino here.
Yeah. And nothing very good. They were looking for passing shot, I think. But no passing shot.
Or any real 1-drop. Having to buff your opponent's minion just to kill it off. That must not feel great, yeah. Yeah, I think we'll probably see Perpetual Flame here. Oh, sorry, not Perpetual Flame, I meant Feral Spirit, my bad. Yeah, probably just chill out from there, to be honest. I don't really see, yeah. Ooh, that's a nice pickup, though. Barrack Codabane here is very important for the hunter to reload on value.
Want to know why they call me
Codabane
Codobane?
drone. But the hunter already lost the board and the shaman is still full health. Still has another canal slugger in hand. So, doesn't
Yeah, I mean, it's
great.
not looking great, but that was one of the better draws they could have asked for in that position. Ah.
Bolt and flame for a full clear.
And then Taunt Totem, that's going to be pretty helpful later on. But for right this second, this Rhino is actually going to be a little bit of a nuisance to deal with.
They will deal with a canal slugger, maybe?
Yeah, maybe, but then they have to spend Lightning Bloom, and your prediction about the Shaman running out of cards is slowly coming to pass. Just based on how the last few cards have been spent in this game.
Yeah, we'll have to bloom Zapper Slugger.
Putting them really close to fully completing the quest, though, so
Yeah.
not all bad.
Yeah, you're putting a huge board.
Yeah, you're also getting that free taunt as well from the second part of the quest.
No littering!
I'd like to see the value trade here with the Feral Spirit to play around Ramming Mountain. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no reason not to make that trade.
Yep, totally.
Ooh. Okay, if this Demon Companion gets Refa, that's going to be very helpful with the Ramming Mount.
I was talking about Shaman running out of cards. Here it is.
Yeah, no, they are out of cards for now. To be fair, though, they're still at 30 health on turn 7. The Hunters spent a fair few resources themselves. And they're getting quite close to the completion of the quest, so... Like, this isn't that bad. Oh, well, there we go. Quest complete. Brukan will be coming down next turn.
Yep. Will be a full clear. And yeah, you will have enough mana to play Brukan on 8, because you're only overloading for 2 manas.
That is correct, yeah. Only 2 mana.
I think the only question is, do you want to trade before Flame to only have 1 overload? I think you prefer the 2/2 than 1 overload mana. But yeah, you have to.
I agree.
You
I
have
agree with
to
that.
ask the question. Think about everything in your deck. You have the turn to think about it, so I have to think.
There is little time.
So yeah, Brukan is now in hand, and the Shaman is still at 30 HP. And the Hunter at this point is burned through both of the aim shots and one of the quick shots. And one of the Rhinos. Like, this is not good for Chile here.
Muzzle their magic. Muzzle their magic.
The elements unbound.
And
I'd kind of like to see the
Yeah.
trade into the 1/1, but I could see killing the Neophyte as well. At this point, I'm pretty sure if Norway have been paying attention, they know exactly what that card is in the hand of the Hunter. Like, they know it's Ramming Mount. That's... I mean, in many other situations, that would be good, just not now is the issue.
yeah, passing will kill the minion. That's still some damage. It's not that much healing for the shaman.
You're not wrong, they are down to 12 HP, but
Oh, that's a huge one.
yeah, that's drawing 4 cards. That is huge. But they're going to go for the Primordial Studies first, just to confirm their options. And then I'd imagine multicaster drawing 4 is pretty much inevitable this turn. Alright, 4 cards. Charged Call has been drawn, so there will be 2 10 drops coming down onto the board. And if either of the 10 drops happen to be the Stonecrack Colossus, I think the game is just over instantly. Oh, there's one. Let's see if we can get 2 of them. No, but a Colossus and a Deathwing is still basically a game ender.
Yeah.
There's no combination that gets Chile out of this one.
That's not enough. You still have a Rhino, right?
You sure do, but Rhino barely clears the taunt at best. And there's still, like, 31 showing on board at the moment. That is easily enough to close this one out. And Norway taking their first win in the second league. It was very close at some points, but they got there in the end. Well played.
Well played for Norway. I'm going with a win, so let's see if we can have the players for post-match interview. Give me a minute. great to have players to have their thoughts about the games. So, okay. Let's ask them. So, do you have some final thoughts about those three opposition of players? Some conclusion?
Oh, what? Like, any thoughts on the team? Like, the Norwegian team?
For example, yeah.
I mean, I interact with at least two of the people on that team somewhat often. I know what they're like personality-wise. I think they play the game relatively well. It's hard to say because when you're playing in these team leagues, you're not the only one playing the game. Like, it's obviously like one person's piloting the game, the other two are spectating and just trying to make sure that obvious decisions are taken and they don't, accidentally miss hitting a Nazmani Bloodweaver into a Deathwing or something. I think that was a low shot. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll see if players will answer my request for post-match interview. So yeah, one good point taken by the Norway team, one loss for the Chile. They are not over left of the competition. There are still other group stage competition between teams. Maybe they will be able to win the other confrontation, qualify for the playoff.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
Although, if I remember correctly, the group they've got is actually really strong. Like, there's not only Norway, there's Denmark, Canada. Like those are two really good countries. Like, also in the group. I'm not too sure how good Serbia and Israel are though. So,
Yeah.
but I'm sure they're pretty good if they manage to get to the second stage, right?
Yeah.
You can't be a bad team if you've gotten this far.
That's what is terrible right now in that second stage of the Mexico of Nations. Only strong team now, so only the best between the best teams will qualify for the playoff. Dark Claw will join us, so I will add him to our conversation. Will join us. Hello, Darklow, can you hear us?
Hello guys, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Yeah, we're doing fine, thank you. How are you, mate?
I'm fine. Besides that we lost the match, I think we played really well, except for maybe Priest. We're a little rusty with that, and the server was lagging at the end, and we couldn't trade the Deathwing to survive. But overall, we did a really good job.
Fair enough. Just go over your strategy for this route real quick. Was there like any specific lineup you're expecting Norway to go with, or any specific decks from a specific person, or anything like that?
We didn't plan lineups comparing the country we were facing. We've been playing these pretty much the same lineups over the weeks. We are comfortable with everyone classes, so we're just going to keep with that. We've been doing fine, just some more practice with Priest.
You don't think that makes you a bit predictable? Like if you take the same decks over and over again?
It could be, but we don't know which country we face every week. We have to send the decks earlier, so nobody can predict that they are facing us.
fair enough, I suppose. Is there any I guess is there any like preference you have like when deciding like which player plays which deck? Do you all just practice the deck separately, or do you like go you have your like your specific pet deck sort of thing? I guess is what I'm asking.
In our case, I think we have some favorite classes, and we base our lineup considering that. I like Warlock, Bloons like Demon Hunter, Mokrani likes Mage, and we made a lineup that fit that that preference.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I mean, it's worked for you so far, right? Like, you've gotten into the second group stage. Is there any specific team you're, like, looking forward to or afraid of running into, like, in the second stage now that you're here?
We'd like to play against Canada. They beat us in another tournament, and all the other nations have really good players. We are really aiming to matches against Denmark, Serbia. I don't remember Israel,
Israel. Yeah, Israel.
and the last one can't remember right now.
So, yeah, it's you guys, Norway, Canada, Israel, Denmark, and Serbia. Like, those 6.
Okay. Yeah, we been pretty well. We are gonna make some modification for next week, and we're good to go.
You're gonna win, right?
Of course, we're gonna win. We are hoping to make playoff.
Fair enough. And if you do make it to playoffs, is there any specific team you're really looking forward to playing against? Like you mentioned you wanted to play against Canada earlier. Is there any other team you're looking forward to playing against?
If we make to playoff, we'd like to play against the other Latin American countries: Argentina, Brazil, Mexico. I think we have really good players, and we'd like to show that.
Lovely. I think that's the last question I've got. Do you have anything to ask AtomiK?
Yeah. It's more about a play during the game. It was about the Rattlegore as a warrior.
Ah, yeah.
We knew the downside,
with Warrior.
yeah, of playing it,
Yeah.
but did it have some upside we didn't think about playing that Rattlegore?
Yes, we played Rattlegore, so we can set up a two little 2 turns later. We play Rattlegore that turn. The next one we play Bulwark, and then we have little with the Faceless and Galangar combo. But that was bad because they have discounted Kurtrus and the 1/1s. We didn't consider that, and we lost.
Did you ever consider just going for fatigue? Just grinding them out of cards and fatiguing them?
I think if we needed like 2 cards for the combo, Battle Master and the other to the front, and it would take too much time. And we weren't so high in HP, so
How
I
could they have
think
done
we
damage to you, mate?
couldn't have reached. We were at like 20 something
You're at
HP.
20. You're at 21, and the only source of damage they are left is Jace. So I
mean,
don't see
they
how they
didn't-
could have killed you.
They didn't kill you. They didn't kill us in that turn, but we set up a little lethal, and the only downside was that they have discounted those 2 cards.
Yeah. Yeah, we were only dying on that turn in 2 reduction of the combo pieces, so okay. I get what do you mean. I don't have other question. Maybe do you wanted to add something, say something to your fans in the chat?
Yeah, I want to thank everyone that supported us. And we couldn't win this week, but you will see us in the next matches, and we will do better.
Yeah, the chat was speaking a lot Spanish. You had lots of supporters.
That's really good to see. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch the replay soon.
Latin America is one of the regions where there is lots of people cheering for other countries. That's something always really nice to see. I love Latin
Yeah, we are
America region for that.
we are a very close region. Everyone supports the other Latin American countries. We have a good community.
Okay, so thanks a lot for joining us, and maybe see you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. So that's the end of that confrontation between Chile and Norway, with a victory from Norway. This week on Max TV, we still have two confrontation. We'll have tomorrow at 9 p.m. Canada against Serbia. It will be casted by Cool Kid in French, and then on Thursday at the American time zone, we'll have casted by Clark South Korea against Sweden. Strong countries, really strong countries. So, like always, if you are awake at this time, if you can't find the sleep, you have nothing more interesting than joining the TV to watch South Korea against Sweden. Thanks a lot, Paraducks, for being with me and with us this evening. Always a pleasure to have you.
Always a pleasure to be here, AtomiK. And yeah, thanks very much to the wonderful individual that gifted me that sub earlier. I'm going to be using that fun Fury Hunter emote that I saw in chat earlier. Fury King, because as we all know, Fury Hunter can never lose games of Hearthstone. And yeah, I just want to say, like, congratulations to Norway for the win. Commiserations to Chile. I may very much disagree with Dark Lord's opinion at the end there, but I can at least respect, like, his acknowledgement of, like, we took a risk and it didn't work out. So, yeah, no, I think that's good, and hopefully I'll be back later on in the Max League of Nations cast. Even more fun series of Hearthstone. But otherwise, yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Thanks again, Elben Lady, as you said. Don't leave. We will raid Clark Hellscream at the end of the stream. So see you soon, everyone, and have a good evening. Goodbye.